Hello there, this is James and you are watching Tixee Live. And good morning, by the way, because this is the European morning session. In today's program, we're going to discuss a little bit what we were talking about yesterday and the outcome of that and how the market views that decision. And at the same time, we're going to talk about something which sort of surprised the market quite a fair bit during the Asian trading session, and the implications that means to the market, or how the market is feeling about that currently. But before we get into that, don't forget, these little episodes or these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be taken as advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence, and of course, know the risks of hand before entering any trade. With that out of the way, let's get started. So, as you remember yesterday, those people kindly enough to join me yesterday, we were talking about Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the UK, facing a vote of no confidence and what that potentially could mean to the market. Well, he survived the confidence vote yesterday, but sort of just. Because what actually happened, he had 211 votes who believe in him and 148 votes and people who do not believe in him. Okay, so 148, so that's nearly 40%. That's a high percentage of people who don't believe in him. Now here's the thing, and this is what the market is looking at. 3 years ago, Boris Johnson's predecessor, Theresa May, she also faced a vote of no confidence. However, she favored better in that vote because Johnson only won by a majority of 63. Okay, so 63 extra people believe in him opposed to the other people who don't. Theresa May, when she did her vote of no confidence 3 years ago, she had 82. Okay, so she had a high majority. And here's the thing, 6 months later, after that vote, she was forced to resign and step down as Prime Minister. So questions are being asked, how long has Bojo got? How long has Bojo got? Okay, if Theresa May had 6 months and she had a better majority, can Johnson survive? And the impact on the sterling has been this, and I'll bring it up now. Okay, let me show you. Now, those people who were kind enough to join me yesterday. I've had some nice comments. Thank you very much, guys. Very nice comments. You joined me yesterday. We were talking about the sterling. It had a little bit of a slight bullish run on the back of the vote of confidence happening. Because I think the market, and like I said, someone asked me the question, do I think he's going to get and what the implications could be? And I said, yeah, well, I think he will win. Will win the vote of confidence. But because the numbers were quite shocking and he only had a majority of 63, the sterling's come under a lot of pressure. And it's currentently trading now at 124.93. Okay, there's a key level which we've been watching for a long time around this level. So it's trying to bounce back from that as we speak. Okay, now the reason why the sterling's under pressure is because there is now a lot of uncertainty. Okay, about how long Bojo can stay in power, and then who's going to lead the government with monetary decision, who's going to come in and to replace him. So there's the uncertainty. As well as that, the market had hoped that this confidence vote was going to be a lot more better in Bojo's favor. If that is the case, then obviously the government can then get down to doing proper business, as in focusing on monetary policies and things they need to do to get life back into the UK economy again. And actually help the Bank of England tackle inflation, things like this. Because there's uncertainty again, okay, this is why the British pound has come under a fair bit of pressure on the back of that. So, okay, yes, it's trying to bounce back. It's now currently trading above 125 again, currently trading at 125.17. So it's trying to recover. But this is why the sterling came under pressure after that vote, because it does paint a picture of uncertainty once again. But anyway, that's enough about Bojo and that for now. We spoke about him a fair bit. Now, the big story, though, this morning is that we had a big surprise. Okay, and that is the Reserve Bank of Australia surprised the market. How do they surprise the market, James? Well, basically, they raised interest rates by 50 basis points, not the 25 basis points they were basis points expected by the market. The market expecting them only to raise rates by 25 basis points. Instead, they rose it to 50 basis points. So their interest rate now is 0.85. And that was a big surprise. And if we have a quick look at all the interest rates at the moment, New Zealand's 2%, Canada's 1.5%, UK, as we know, is 1%, US 1%, Aussie now is 0.85, Euro is 0, or negative in Japan is minus 0.10. So this is made the market think, if the RBA, Reserve Bank of Australia, can surprise us with more aggressive interest rate hikes, what stops other central banks doing the same? Okay, doing the same. So this is why the market today has been a little bit more fearful. Okay, a bit more fearful of it. And all the attention now, we'll talk about these two events near the end of the program, is obviously the ECB press conference Thursday and the US CPI on Friday, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. And just so you know, this interest rate hike by the RBA was the highest or the biggest increase they have done in 22 years. 22 years. So this is why the market is very surprised and they're a little bit cautious as they at the moment, as the market stands. Some big knock-on effect as well, which happened, was the Japanese yen. Okay, Japanese yen is currently trading at a 2-decade low against the US dollar. I'm going to pull up the dollar yen chart now, actually, so we can have a look at it. Yeah, two-decade low. It's currently trading around 132.72. So we've seen a lot of dollar strength and a lot of Japanese yen weakness. And there is a nice, obviously, it's been an uptrend for a while. We can have a look on an hourly chart. We can see the uptrend. Excuse me, 1 second. Oh, dear. That's better. You can see that obviously there has been an uptrend against the Japanese yen. This is the dollar yen. And yeah, 2-decade low. The last time it was above this was back in February 2002, where it was trading around 134.63. So yeah, so a lot of Japanese yen weakness, which then asked the question, the market then asked the question, will the Bank of Japan intervene on this? But actually, technically, a weak yen is good for their economy. So are they going to do any intervention, though, to support the yen? That is the one question the market's being asked. And that's going to be one of the stories we're going to have to watch for a while to see how that delivers or how that comes out. So yeah, 132.68 at the moment. We've got a little bit of way to go till we hit that high of February 2002, which is 134.63. But anyway, that is what the market is looking at and reading from at the moment. What else? Now, because like I mentioned, because the RBA surprised the market is now, like I say, certainly the European session, is now feeling a little bit fearful that the hawks are circling. That if the RBA could do that, other central banks can do that. And don't forget, the market is scared that if we are too aggressive with interest rate hikes, we are got signs of economic slowdown. Higher interest rates could damage the economy and push us into a recession. That is what it's worried about. So the fact that the RBA was more aggressive today, the market's now more fearful that more central banks will follow suit. And this is why, for example, all eyes are going to be on the ECB, whether the ECB will pull the trigger as well, whether the ECB will take action. Okay. The press conference. Now, I've said this yesterday. I do not think for a second on Thursday they will increase interest rates. I'll be greatly surprised. Not to say they won't, but I'd be very surprised if they raised interest rates on Thursday. Okay. However, it's the press conference will be under heavy scrutiny because everybody will be watching out for words, what they say, how hawkish their tone is, what they say, any hints of how much they're going to raise interest rates and when. Is it going to be July? Is it going to be by 0.25 basis points, or is it going to be by 50 basis points like the RBA or more? Because don't forget, they've been having low interest rates since about 2011. So it's going to be very interesting to see the press conference. So obviously I can't do a live watch along for that, but I will certainly do a special broadcast afterwards so we can look into that. So I will do a special broadcast afterwards to look at that. So yeah, ECB Thursday. Let's see what they do. Let's see if they follow the RBA. I don't think they will on Thursday, but it's the press conference. We need to see what hints they will say. That leads us then to a real big event, again, which the market is scared of again. And this time I will do a watch along, okay? And that is, of course, Inflation Friday, the US Consumer Price Index. It's due on Friday at 12:30 p.m. UTC. I will do a watch along on this event, so please come along. If it comes in higher than expected, I think the expectation is about 8.2, I think. But if it comes in higher, then the markets could really start getting a little bit jittery again, because then they will start looking towards how aggressive the Fed's going to be. So that's going to be really, really interesting. So don't forget, US Consumer Price Index, Friday, 12:30 p.m. Please come and join me. I'll do a watch along. We'll watch it out together and see how the market reacts. European markets so far, at the moment, they are slightly down. FTSE's down minus 0.09%. DAX minus 0.78%. Eurostox minus 0.13%. So a teeny weeny bit negative. Like I say, yesterday we had a bit of optimism. Today, because the RBA surprised everybody, we're having a little bit of pessimism. So that's the thing. So we need to see how that lines up for the rest of the day. Key events, I've already mentioned the two big ones, but we also have EU GDP tomorrow, but really it's all about the ECB press conference and US CPI. That's all what the market's going to be looking at and worrying and thinking about and seeing what those outcomes are all going to be all about. Now, don't forget, you can ask me questions whenever you wish, whenever I'm on air. There's no questions at the moment. I have some nice comments, though, which is quite nice. It's a lot of thank yous. Very, very, very kind. Thank you. Some very nice comments. But don't forget, I'm going to be back online again at 1 p.m. UTC to cover what has happened so far at European trading session, have a quick look at what happened in the US trading session and what to look out for, and basically give you a rundown of what is happening in the market since this program. Okay. So yeah, please come and join me then, 1 p.m. UTC. Okay. We'll see what happens, what's happened in the European session. And again, of course, what will we do in looking at reviewing maybe what could happen in the US session. So yeah, please come and join me for that. Don't forget, if you're watching me on Facebook and you like it, give us a follow if you like. If you're watching me on YouTube and you like it, you can subscribe if you like. Hit the notification button so you know next time I'm going to go live. If you found this little video insightful and useful and you like it, give me one of those. It'll put a smile on my face and I'll appreciate it. But anyway, till next time, don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be taken as advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence. And of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.